Hi friends, so if you've been following me on this Mystery Tote challenge, you'll notice that I didn't get my video out on time this week. So I think at the end of the last video I mentioned that my husband was taking a work trip out of town to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and that I was going to go with him. And we did that. We were gone Monday and we got back on Friday. And I had all these grand plans to get this new Mystery Tote video completed. And obviously it is now Sunday and I didn't get it out on time. I'm going to explain what happened and why the video didn't get out on time. And I am going to let you know if I actually did meet the challenge rules though. So just because I didn't get a video out doesn't mean I didn't hit the challenge goal. But we're going to jump into that in just a few moments. If you're new here, the Mystery Tote Challenge is a way for me to get all my back stock under control. Back in November of 2024, we moved from Charlotte, North Carolina to Eastern Tennessee. And at that time, all my inventory was sorted into categories, but it was just thrown into boxes, totes, bags, whatever we had, and moved to our new house. So the Mystery Tote Challenge is every week I roll a dice and that the number on the dice corresponds to a category. And that category I have that week to go through the tote and decide if I want to list the item, if I'm going to put it away for a better season, if it's seasonal. I can take it to the flea market or I can donate it. I have to make a decision that week on what to do with those items. And this week, I partially hit my goal, I guess you could say. So first, what I'm going to do is flip you around and I'll show you the contents of the box, and then I'll get in to explain what happened. And I was going to make this past week's video something different. I used ChatGPT for my research, so I had all these grand things for this video, but I still did use ChatGPT, so we're gonna show you how that worked as well. So there's just a lot going on in this video, but let me first turn you around and show you what was in this miscellaneous tote since I've rolled a 4. All right. So it looks like the box has been opened, and I promise you I haven't looked at it in a while. All my miscellaneous boxes have been opened at this point. When they were in the garage, we went through them before I moved into the shed. So I haven't peeked yet. So let's just pop it open and see what we've got to work with this week. Okay. We've got inflatable bunny ball catch. It is not new. It's been opened before. It is Walmart. It looks vintage, so we'll take a look and see if that's worth listing, or maybe that will be put away for later for Easter time. 31, just a little bag. It's really dirty. That'll probably, who knows. Germany, 1982. I think this is a Disney hat. It is. I know this needs to be cleaned, so I'm going to bring that into the house today to get that started on. Vintage party hats. So we'll see if that's worth listing. Vacuum cleaner belt. I have no idea. You never know what's worth something and what's not. We've got a Pumbaa plush. That is, I think, from the like the Broadway show, not the cartoon. This was just, I actually made this when I was in high school, maybe. It's just a little, it was out of a pants pocket. It's just a little pouch made from Ralph Lauren jeans that I really liked. Little push pins. There again, I've had these for a while. I might find myself a cork board and keep those. I think they're really cute. Let's see what else. We've got vintage oil can openers. Why I have that, I don't know. I probably picked that up at a thrift store though, back in the early days. This guy right here, he makes noise. But he's feeling a little sticky in the plastic head, so I think I might just put him in the donate pile and not even work on him. He feels gross. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's sticky. This I will probably just donate as well. This actually, when we were on vacation in Italy, what was it, about just over a year ago now, we got stopped by one of those stupid street not vendors, but one of those people that are on the streets that try to con you into buying crap. And we didn't buy anything. We didn't give him any money, but we ended up keeping what he gave us, which was just some cheap jewelry. We've got these balls here. They've got a pretty good weight to them, so we'll see if those are worth anything. I don't know if they're just decorative. I've got a little hair clip here. This is mine from a long time ago. I've got a little homemade lacrosse stick figurine, I guess you would call it. The only sport I really like to watch is lacrosse, so that'll probably just get put on the wall. And I have a couple pocket knives, which are probably my husband's, so that'll probably go back to him. But I'm going to work on this box over the next few days, and we will see if there's anything worth listing and keeping. Let me know what you thought of the items that were in the tote. Were they any good? Any surprises? So my plan last week was to photograph all of the items in the tote because I wasn't going to have enough time to research them since we left on Monday. So I knew I was going to be creating a little bit more work for myself because I decided to photograph, like I said, everything in the box that I knew had the potential to get listed. There are a few things that were in the box that I decided to keep, but I did create more work for myself. But I partially met my challenge. I did get 3 items from the tote listed that I was confident on. I made some decisions on a few other items in the box that I am not going to list. But there was one item in the box, and I don't know if you can guess what it was, that stumped me, that stumped ChatGPT, but Google got it right. So Google does have its own AI feature now in addition to Google Lens. And they were able to identify what I had. And the bag I had was mislabeled, which is why I didn't know what it was and why ChatGPT didn't know what it was. So I'm going to pause you for just a moment. I'm going to tell you what I prompted ChatGPT to do to help me with this challenge. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm fairly new to ChatGPT. I've been using the free version for a little while now to help me with some listing ideas and to help me with some of my YouTube video things too. But there are limits to how much you can use ChatGPT. So last week I upgraded to the paid version so I can have more help with my listings, and I decided to have it help me with the research portion. So I'm going to preface this by saying a lot of this could be user error. I'm still learning how to prompt ChatGPT, so if you've got any tips or tricks on how to have this work better than maybe it worked for me, I'm all ears. I want to learn how to use this better and want to pass that all along to you, maybe some of the pain points I had with this. But if you're going to watch over here, I'm going to do some screenshots. You can watch me scrolling and doing the research. for some of these items, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I did. But I prompted ChatGPT by saying, I want you to be an expert researcher for eBay reselling. I will show you an item, and I want you to, number 1, tell me what it is. Number 2, tell me what the sell-through rate is. Number 3, give me a price recommendation. I don't do free shipping, so we need to take into account the buyer pays the shipping. Number 4, recommend if this is worth listing for at least $10 based on point 2 and 3. And 5, if you notice items can be listed together to post for more money, please recommend that as well. So that's what I prompted ChatGPT to do for me. What it did was it gave me just a recap of what it was going to do for each item and what it was looking for. And then we just jumped right into the first item. So let me pull that up. And I'm on my computer, so I'm going to be looking down and going through some of these things as well. Let me find this on my spreadsheet so I can tell you what I paid for this stuff as well. So this first item is, it says Germany 1982 on it. And on the inside, you can see that it is a vintage Walt Disney World hat. I paid $1.99 for this item. Let me see when I bought it. It's been a long, long time. I bought this in October of 2019. So I had bought this. I had started reselling in September of 2019. So this was one of my first buys within the first few months. Would I pick it up again for $1.99? No, I would not pick this up again for $1.99. If it was $1 or less, still probably not. So I'm going to show you here what ChatGPT recommended. Let me get back to that screen. And it told me I had, all right, come on, computer. It told me I had an Epcot World Showcase Germany strapback hat. You can see it does say Epcot World Showcase. So I was able, one of the limits with the free version of ChatGPT is you can only upload so many photos per day, there's a cycle, which I'm not sure, and it's usually about three photos per day that it can go through. You've got much more leeway with the paid version. So I uploaded 10 not videos, but 10 pictures of this hat, including the tags, including any flaws or things with that system. But it told me the sell-through rate of this item says several used like Disney World Germany hat are currently active at $19.95. Similar khaki black versions recently listed at $19 to $27. So there was, I believe, a $19 listing and a $27 listing. Used vintage 1982 Germany has sold for around $22 on Poshmark. So I did not check Poshmark. I don't care what Poshmark's doing. Like, I will cross-post this eventually to Poshmark if it doesn't sell, but I need to know what it's selling for on eBay. So it says, while not rocket fast, the fact that multiple similar hats have sold in the past few months suggests a moderate sell-through rate of 30 to 40%, enough to support a listing, especially for the specific Germany pavilion design. Well, I went on to eBay's research tab. So when you are doing your research on eBay, don't use their regular search features and go to the sold button. Their prices aren't accurate. You need to go to the product research tab, either in the app or on the website. But I looked this up and there are no solds. I think I looked for the last 3 years. There are no solds for this hat. There are 2 currently listed on eBay. So that's a horrible sell-through rate, because that's a 0% F2. But The reason I listed this is because I think I can beat the two other listings out on price. So I did list this for $14. And the reason I did decide to list this as well is because I do have money into this and I'm trying to make my money back. So I listed this for $14. We're going to see, because I'm significantly priced under. It's not terrible. You can tell it's vintage. You can tell it's been used, but there's no significant stains or rips or anything like that. But I figured I can beat someone else out on price with that. So we're going to test it out to see if I can make my money back. The next item that actually kind of surprised me that I ended up listing was this little 31 tote. I mean, this was free. I think it was given to my daughter with a gift, probably from family. But I looked this up. It is a 31 Littles Carry All Caddy in the Preppy Pop colorway. So it's a discontinued colorway. It's not in terrible conditions. There's a couple surface spots, but there were a few solds of these, so that was enough for me to decide to list it. I did list it for $10, and that's about the average price they were going for. But let me jump back to ChatGPT and we will see what it told me. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it told me it was a 31 gift. It's a small tote or pouch called the Tiny Utility Tote or similar. It just says it features a colorful horizontal stripe pattern, mesh front pocket, and the top zipper, which obviously is not true. There's no zipper, there's no top, so it got that wrong. They gave the approximate measurements, which I put in my photos. It said pre-owned striped pouches in this typically go for around $10 to $15. Brand new, they sell for $24.99 to $32.99, which is not the case either. It says there's a healthy sell-through rate of 30 to 40%, which I think is a little generous as well. It told me to list this at $14.99, buy it now, plus buyer pays $5 shipping. But that's not really, it wasn't specific enough for me. So I did a Google image search for it, and that's where I found the pattern name for this as well. And when I put the pattern name in, I got a more accurate sell-through rate by using that. So in this case, I think Google and doing a manual research job on that supported listing this one. This one I listed it for $10. There again, it's light and it's going to be easy to ship. Just trying to make a few extra bucks on it. Nothing, but for this one, I don't think ChatGPT really hit the nose on this one either. If I had listened to ChatGPT, I would have overpriced this one. The next thing that I researched was this Panasonic vacuum cleaner belt. It was supposed to be a pack of 2. It's obviously open. There's only one left. Sometimes, like I said, these replacement things can do well. But I decided to look it up, and ChatGPT told me it's part number MC210B. It said it was meant for the Panasonic upright vacuum, which is correct. It says it's a sealed retail original packaging, marked 2 belts, made in USA. Genuine OEM parts are preferred for fit and reliability. So it got that wrong. And I gave it 10 pictures again showing that the belt was outside the bag, that the bag was open, and that there was only one belt. So ChatGPT got that wrong. It's saying that it's $4.99 at vacbelts.com. So it's giving me, after like some other marketplaces where they're being sold for, It's telling me that a 2-pack of this sealed would range between $5 and $10 on eBay. Great condition, definitely not. Worth listing at the higher end of that range. No, it's got that completely wrong. Completely wrong. I mean, the pricing was right, but because the fact that it's an open package with one belt in it, it completely recommended the wrong thing. So that's what we're learning. We're learning to see how accurate ChatGPT is. I think it's a great tool to use in some instances, but I'm finding it's not great at research, and it could be user error. There could be a different way for me to prompt and see if if I can train it better, I guess we could say. So this one did not get listed. I got it photographed, but did not list it since it did not meet my requirements for listing for $10. The next set were these decorative balls, and it says these appear to be decorative porcelain spheres referred to as carpet balls, or I cannot say that word, chinos, I'm not gonna even try, orbs. They're home decor pieces. Yours are painted in red floral on white porcelain, similar to the vintage red and white sold online. These are probably likely reproductions, like it said in the listing. Key observations from the photos: all three show red floral leafy patterns on a smooth white gloss. Undersized of holes, likely 20th century decorative porcelain spheres in a red and white style, not likely to be rare or antique pieces, more aligned with mass-produced home decor items. Recommendation: it said to display, put them in a bowl or tray or standalone piece. Resale tip: similar items on Etsy range from $10 to $30 depending on condition and size. So that's all it told me. It didn't tell me how to price it. It didn't follow my rules in this case. It gave me some general ideas. It didn't tell me if I should list it and how much I should list it for if I did. So this one I decided not to list, and I paid too much for this. I bought this in 2021 for $5.17 at a Goodwill. Because they did come in this original bag, they were probably sealed and I just couldn't open them to inspect them. And I guess I just, I didn't know enough about them. I probably just did an image search or somehow looked it up and thought, well, maybe these are the vintage or antique ones. And they're not. But the reason I decided not to list these, even though I have so much money into it, is because, I don't know if you can see it, but like they're chipping and on all of them. They're just not in good enough condition for me to really feel comfortable listing these and putting them up. So that's that one. I really don't think ChatGPT came through on that one as well. The next item here was this stuffed animal. It's Pumbaa. It's the Lion King Broadway plush. And I have 49 cents into him. Let me go and look. I bought him in July of 2020. So I've had him again for a little too long. It said it's a Pumbaa beanbag doll from the Playbill store, which is correct. It sells for $20 on the Playbill store. So again, it's pulling non-eBay sites up. A plush from a Disney Broadway production, priced at about $18, likely used, but still collectible. It gave me the two pictures from one from the Playbill store, one from eBay, selling for $18, which is a different one. It's not the one I have. I said, this item is used without tags. Is it worth listing on eBay? It said, thanks for the follow-up. Based on your photos and tag details, here's the complete breakdown. It went back into saying some of the same things we listed. It said eBay sell-through analysis, current active listings are 7 of them. Sold listings in the last 90 days is 6. And it said 85%, very strong, is the sell-through rate, which is not right. It's not right at all. It's not even close. So it told me to list this between $13.95 and $15.95. I'm going to go, and I think I have screenshots or something here showing the Google search I did. This was completely not right. I think from the Google research I did, this would be less than $10. So not worth it. Sell-through rate was actually terrible on this, I believe, and I'm going to show you the screenshots. Like I said, I tried to do the research during the week and pulled all this stuff up. So it's Sunday now, so I'm not 100% sure where this fell, but I knew this was under $10. So this one's not getting listed either. This is the one that stumped everyone. This stumped me. This stumped ChatGPT. But Google got this one right. So I bought this back in November of 2020. Came in a bag like this. On the bag, that's upside down. I don't know if you can see that. It says 3 vintage oil can openers. So when I typed or put my pictures into ChatGPT, I think it was thrown off by this because I put that label on the bag into my photos and the label on the bag is wrong, I believe. So this one, I haven't made a decision on. I had the pictures and everything, but I wasn't comfortable enough listing it, not knowing 100% what it was. So I asked it, what do I have here? And uploaded 10 pictures. And it said, you've got a vintage foldable multi-purpose can opener, not a paint can tool or oil spout. So it did kind of recognize that it wasn't what the label said, but it was still completely wrong. So let me take these out of the bag and show you. There's this thing. I mean, I guess you can say it looks like a paint can opener. And then I have 2 of these. These look the same, the 2 of these. And this kind of lifts up and goes down and that type of thing. So I've never seen these. I don't know what they are. There's no markings on it other than one says patent pending. Is it worth listing on eBay? Expected value, clean working, $20 to $30. But that's really the only help it gave me. And I was like, but I don't know what it is. I can't find it using the keywords it gave me. So I turned to Google Lens and their new AI to see if it could help me. So I'm going to scroll that in just a minute and show you what Google showed me. All right. So when you do a Google Lens search, this is the photo I used. It was able to identify this as Guardian Serviceware Handle Clamp. Completely not a oil can opener. It's not a kitchen can opener or anything like this. So these are, they go to, they clamp on that, and then you do that, and you can use this as a detachable handle. I've seen these before, and now that I'm looking at it, so when I go and actually search on the product research page for eBay, like one of these sold for $28.70 with free shipping and things like that. So these $26, $28.80. So these are actually selling for good money. So if I had listened to ChatGPT on this, I would have completely listed this incorrectly. So this is why when you're using an AI function that you need to still do your due diligence and double check things, especially if you're not sure what they are. So the reason I didn't list these is because once that Google Lens search finished up, I was like, I'm not 100% sure what I have. I don't want to list these incorrectly. So yes, these will indeed get listed. So big fail on my challenge. This mystery item was what threw the challenge off. And it was the one thing that I didn't list that I was considering listing. So there again, sometimes you need to take ChatGPT with a grain of salt and try other ways of researching. This is the last one that I listed. So we've got these Mickey party hats. Again, the package is open. It is not new or sealed. It says 8 party hats on the package, and I have 9 of them. So obviously more than the pack. I did this one as a separate search from the other ones where I was prompted. I uploaded, so I did the research on these first, and I said, there are a few of these listed on eBay, and it doesn't look like they've sold. How can I price these to move and possibly market to a different market, possibly a crafter? So, like I said, there's none sold on eBay. A few listed, but again, almost like the Germany hat, how can I make this listing different from the other people selling it? And so the recommendation, it said we have a full vintage 1987 Disney party hat set. These aren't fast movers on eBay, but they do have nostalgic and upcycling appeal. And it gave me a list of crafters and junk journalers, Disney collectors, vintage themed party planners, photo booth prop stylists, and scrapbookers or Etsy style DIYers. So those are the ideas it gave me of people to list this to. Let's see, I did list these already. I have 20 cents into them. I bought them in June of 2020. So again, seeing if I can do something different to make these sell or stand out different from the other people. I did list this as 9 vintage Disney party hats. Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, junk journal, photo booth prop. So that was my title. Did not compare to either of the other ones that were listed. So this is going to stand out differently from everybody else. There again, I listed it for $12, which I think was around the price everybody else listed at, or possibly even just a little bit less, just to move it. If I only have 20 cents into it, and I've had it for this long, I'm just looking to get my money back really out of it. So we'll see what happens with that one. Let's see. There are a few other items that were in the box. One of them was this bunny ball catch. Right now, because we're past Easter, this doesn't seem to be doing very well. So I think I am going to put it aside for maybe a few months before Easter next year and see if, because it's a seasonal item, if it can sell better there. These other 2 items that were in the box are just box cutters. I'm going to keep those because resellers need box cutters all over the place. And then the last item that was in there was just this hair clip. I never bought this. This was mine probably from the 90s or early 2000s. This is just gonna either go with the jewelry or go somewhere else, either donated or taken to the flea market. That one's definitely not worth listing. I know if you can find like Goody brand hair ties or hair clips, or some of the other vintage hair clips, those can do really well. So definitely don't overlook those types of things. But in this case, this was just a generic brand thing that I knew it was mine from a long time ago. But I believe that's all the items in the tote that we worked on. So we have 3 that are listed already, and those got listed in time. So I met the goal on those 3. I had those handles that didn't meet the guidelines. I'm definitely going to get those listed, even though I didn't meet the guidelines for listing it in time. And everything else is either going to be put away for later, or the one is going to be put away for later, and the other stuff is going to get donated. Oh, the other thing that was in the box that I'm looking at right now are just those shoe push pins. Those are staying. I'm going to use those once I get a cork board and the rest of this shed finished up. But let me know, did you know what those handles were? Have you seen those before? Would you have picked them up? Especially since the bag had them mislabeled. But let me know if you were surprised with anything. I forgot we got to turn you around and we've got to pick this new week's number. And then stay till the end. I'll there again show you the blooper of me trying to record in a hotel room when it's very, very loud. But let me get you turned around and we'll pick next week's number. All right, here we go. Let's roll the dice. We have a number 1. Let's go over to our list. Yay! So this is a clothing, shoes, or accessory box. The one that I've been waiting for forever. Garbage bags right here were all my daughter's stuff that she just cleaned her closet out with. So let's go ahead and pull, that looks like sweaters on top. Let's go ahead and pull this one. I see some jeans in there. So we're gonna work on this bag, and if you stay tuned till next week, we will show you the items in this bag. I sold my first item from this Mystery Tote challenge, and I bet you will not even guess the item that I sold. So I listed this on May 28th, and it sold, I think, on June 28th. So it took me 1 month to sell this item. You're never going to guess. These washer and dryer knobs sold for $10. I mean, I considered not even listing these because, I mean, really, they're just a replacement part, just cheap plastic knob. I mean, they are OEM, but I've had these forever. So these sold for $10. These are my first Mystery Tote item to sell since I've been doing this for how many weeks? 5 weeks now? First items to sell. Not what you'd expect. If you want to follow me on this challenge or join in, please subscribe. At the end of the video, I'll post a link to my original video that talks about the rules of the challenge and what we are doing. Can you hear that up there? They're doing construction from the hotel room. So we're going to make the best of this and see if this video will even work this week. As soon as I start the video, they start making more noise. It just got quiet, it hit record, and they started making more noise.